Hello, friends. I'm Brian Hanna. Welcome to another episode of Closet Classics here on WQLN NPR. And today we are going to explore Eastern music.
Easter music.
Easter music. Okay, let's explore Easter music. Closet Classics is sponsored by the Mercyhurst Institute for Arts and Culture. You know, classical music for Easter features powerful oratorios like Bach's St. Matthew's Passion and Handel's Messiah, joyful orchestral pieces such as Rimsky-Korsakov's Russian Easter Festival Overture, and profound works like Mahler's Resurrection Symphony, exploring themes of suffering and rebirth alongside spiritual hymns and Renaissance motets, perfect for reflecting on the resurrection. Though Handel's Messiah rightly reigns supreme as the king of music for Easter, there are many other seasonal masterpieces that deserve to be heard more often. Resurrexit by Hector Berlioz, the only part of a mighty mass that the 20-year-old composer thought worthy of preserving. The Stabat Mater by Antonio Vivaldi. There have been many beautiful settings depicting the scene of the Mother of God standing in sorrow at the foot of the cross, but none more beautiful than this by the Red Priest. Again, there's a Stabat Mater by Gioacchino Rossini. Rossini's setting of the scene of the Stabat Mater, whose text comes from a 13th century hymn, possibly written by Pope Innocent III, comes a century and a quarter after the realization by his compatriot Vivaldi, and it is not bombastic like The Barber of Seville. This has lovely, breezy moments and parts of it that will tear at your heartstrings. The Seven Last Words of Our Savior on the Cross by Franz Joseph Haydn, arranged variously for string quartet, orchestra, and orchestra with voices. Haydn's Seven Last Words are a series of meditations on the seven final statements uttered by Jesus on the cross. And then there's the Easter Oratorio by Johann Sebastian Bach. Though not as well known as the St. Matthew Passion and the St. John Passion, Bach's Easter Oratorio is a masterpiece in its own right. And who can forget Christ on the Mount of Olives by Ludwig van Beethoven? The master's sole oratorio dates from the same year as the composer's epic Eroica Symphony. And then there's The Resurrection by George Friedrich Handel. Often overshadowed at Easter by his Messiah, Handel's oratorio deserves to be better known. You can explore more and share a Holy Week soundtrack with me on Classics with Brian Hanna each weekday on WQLN NPR and streaming live at WQLN.org. Again, I'm Brian Hanna. Thank you for joining me for another episode of Closet Classics, made possible by our friends at the Mercyhurst Institute for Arts and Culture. You're welcome back anytime, friends, and remember, the door is always open.